Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your host for tonight's Best of 2023 tournament, Deceptibot 9.
Thank you. Yes. Oh, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Best of 2023 tournament. It was a fantastic year all across the board for action figures. It really, there's some truly amazing, inspiring, wonderful contestants coming up tonight. And before we get into seeing who our contestants are, I just wanted to say, if this is your first time here, welcome to the Best of 2023 tournament. This is how we like to do our kind of top 10 of the year. This is our third one, so if you want to go back to 2021, 2022, see kind of what the previous years look like, go ahead and do that. And if you are not new here, welcome back. Don't forget, guys, if you like what you see, go ahead, hit that like button. Plus, don't forget to subscribe as well to make sure you never miss future content. And go ahead and hit the notification bell as well so you can always stay informed when new content is on the rise. And with all that said, all of my social media links are in the description down below as well, so you can follow me anywhere you'd like. Now, before we get into the contestants for this year, I want to go ahead and break down kind of the way this is going to work, the rule set, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw out some honorable mentions here really quick. Now, yes, to start off, this is a tournament-style best of figures list. It's just a fun way for me to look at all the figures that I loved throughout the year, because it's really hard to keep it down to just 10 for certain figures. I am only including figures in this list that released during the year 2023. I got a lot of cool stuff in 2023 that didn't necessarily come out in 2023. Like if you go back, I went to TFCon LA back in March, and I picked up a lot of old figures, like figures from Cybertron, figures from Animated. So, I don't feel like it's fair to include things that didn't come out this year when we're talking about all of the great stuff that did, in fact, come out this year. Besides that, how I've broken it down is there's 10 Transformers. So there's my 10 favorite Transformers of the year, my 10 favorite Masters of the Universe figures of the year. That includes, so the Transformers includes both Studio Series, Legacy, anything externally, no third party or anything. I only have one third party figure anyway, so it wouldn't have made it on the list. Masters of the Universe includes Masterverse and Origins, all of the Motu stuff that released during this year. And then I have a third competitor bracket, which is the miscellaneous bracket, which is anything that I didn't get enough figures from, like I didn't get enough Storm Collectibles figures to make a full 10 out of it, so it goes in the miscellaneous for the releases that I got this year that I enjoyed. So, saying that, all how that's going to work, it's going to be bracket style, single elimination, we'll go 2v2 in a match. I'm going to talk about all of the competitors up front. I'll kind of go, break them down, like kind of what I like about them, why they're on the list, and then we'll move into the bracket itself, where we'll kind of then just go from there, take a look at each matchup, see how it stacks, and advance all the way up to the final. So, without further ado, go ahead, grab your drink, grab your snack, because it's time to buckle up for the Deceptibot 9 Best of 2023 tournament. We'll be right back. Alright everyone, welcome back to the Best of 2023 tournament. Hope you enjoyed your little drink snack break. You got something good, got something nice, something refreshing along those lines. Now before we get to the competitors of this year's list, I'm going to go ahead, rattle off some honorable mentions, because like I said, there's a lot of great figures that came out this year, and it's really, really hard to narrow it down to just 10 in any of these categories. So I have a bunch of honorable mentions here. So the first three honorable mentions here are Legacy Animated Bumblebee, Legacy Cyberverse Windblade, and Studio Series Gamer Edition Starscream. Now I put these all here in the honorable mentions because I got them all within the span of like a week or 2 weeks ago, and it didn't feel fair for these figures that are also technically 2024 releases to be going on this list. But also they still have a little bit of that recency bias going on in my head, so I didn't want that to influence the list, so they're in the honorable mentions. Other honorable mentions I have from this year I've got Studio Series Battle Trap. Absolutely great figure, but he didn't quite make the cut this year, unfortunately. Masterverse Grizzlord, he was another fun one. Origins Fangor. Black Series Old Master Darth Maul. He was very close to making it on the list, though. I do really love that Darth Maul. Masterverse Shadow Weaver, she is really, really fantastic. I love everything they did with her. She was another one that was very, very close to making it, but not quite. Origins He Skeletor. McFarlane Aqualad. Black Series Kersantin. Earthspark Nightshade, and finally, Masterverse Prince Adam. So that's just a run through of all of our honorable mentions. Figures also that are near and dear to my heart that I absolutely love from this year, but unfortunately got edged out of their top 10. So with the honorable mentions out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about our actual competitors for this year. Here we go. Starting off with Team Miscellaneous. Now, in no particular order, I have to stress that. This is no particular order here. This is just the 10 that came to my head that I absolutely adore, and I wrote them down. No particular order here. Black Series Duels and Darth Vader. Now, if you go back and see some of my previous lists, you'll see that Black Series used to take up a lot of those lists, but it was before their price started going up a lot, and I felt like their quality didn't increase with the price. So I've increasingly got less and less Black Series figures, especially this year. Not to say that there's, ones on there that weren't great. I have some on here myself, obviously. There's some great ones. But if you want good Black Series stuff, go check out Mike Case. His channel is full of Black Series stuff. His podcast is full of Black Series stuff. Absolutely amazing. And he just dropped his top 10 recently that includes a lot of good stuff in it as well. So I kind of live my Black Series collecting these days kind of vicariously through Mike at this point. So yeah, there's that. Black Series Duels and Vader, though, I had to pick him up because Darth Vader is my all-time favorite fictional character, and I was not going to miss this interpretation of Vader from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. He just looks stunning all around. He's got great inner Anakin head sculpt. The molding on all of the damaged parts of his body are just tremendous. Overall, best Darth Vader to come out of the Black Series line easily. Next, we have Jack Specific Samus Aran. Now, I do have a review of her over here on my channel if you want to go see more about her. But I never picked up a Jax figure before this year, but this Samus really intrigued me. It was hot off the heels of Metroid Dread coming out a few years ago, but Metroid Prime Remastered coming out this year as well. And she's just awesome for a $10 little figure. She's got plenty of articulation. You can get her in a lot of awesome poses. And yeah, for a $10 little figure of Samus, she's awesome. Next is Storm Liu Kang. This was a little bit of a slow year for Storm Collectibles Mortal Kombat. Not really many come out this year, but we're going to get a lot in 2024, so I guess that kind of makes up for, we've got the MKX Goro on the way, MK9 Shao Kahn, Shiva, Nightwolf. So I wish some of those had made it into this year, but it is what it is. So, Storm Liu Kang. I mean, he's the hero of Mortal Kombat. He comes with a super cool dragon. Hard not to pass up Liu Kang. He's on this list for, good reason. All right, next is Adventure Series Indiana Jones. This was a great year for my Indiana Jones franchise love because, Dial of Destiny came out, which kind of revitalized me and Indiana Jones and making me watch all the movies again. I watched the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. There was a lot of good merch that came out for Indy this year as well. And the only Adventure Series figure I picked up was the Raiders of the Lost Ark Indiana Jones. But I love him. He's so much fun. He's got a great likeness to Harrison. He comes with a lot of good accessories. It's just great to have like a really solid Indy figure in my shelf. Next is Jada's Invisible Man from the Universal Monsters line. And this guy blew me away. He is phenomenal. He's got a nice soft goods. It's not fully soft goods. It's like a rubbery soft goods for his nightgown, and he's got great accessories that show off the invisibility aspect of him as well. Jada kills it this year with their action figures, and Invisible Man there is no different. Next, another competitor from Storm from the Mortal Kombat line, obviously. Because that's the only that's the only Storm Collectibles line I really collect until their Soul Calibur one kicks off this year as well, is Kano. And Kano is awesome. I had a lot of fun with Kano. He does have his flaws, but overall, a really solid entry into the Storm Mortal Kombat line. Next, Marvel Legends Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. The reissue, of course, because I never got the original, so I'm coming to the reissue here. And I'm really glad I found this figure, because it is my favorite Marvel Legends Spidey that they have released thus far. I haven't gotten any of the No Way Home ones. Those ones probably would have been on this list as well. But Marvel Legends is in a similar track the Black Series is, where I'm very, very selective with the Marvel Legends that I get these days, when I used to get like every and all. But this one I had to grab it because I love Spider-Man. And this is probably like my favorite Spider-Man outfit, so it just worked out. Next, another Jada entry. We get the Jada Toys Universal Monsters Wolfman. Both the Jada Wolfman and the Jada Invisible Man were released this year very, very early on, like January, February type. And he's great as well. He looks fantastic. He's got great likeness to Lon Chaney. He articulates very, very well. Overall, again, just Jada is just killing it with their action figures. Really, really stepped up and shown what you can do in this space with your budget and all that. So love Jada. Speaking of Jada, of course, on this list as well is Evil Ryu, the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive from this year. And out of all the Comic-Con exclusive stuff I got this year, it is the best. I have a full review of the Evil Ryu here on my channel if you want to go check out more details about that figure. But yeah, I love Jada Toys now. I am just obsessed. And last in the miscellaneous category is the McFarlane Toys Page Punchers Black Manta. I didn't get many McFarlane figures this year, but they went a little heavy on the Aquaman side of things, which I absolutely appreciated because Aquaman and its surrounding characters are my favorite in the DC universe. And so I was so excited to finally get a Black Manta, and he nailed it with the Page Punchers one. Absolutely love the way it looks, the way it moves, and especially the way he looks with like other Aquaman figures is just tremendous. So that's our miscellaneous category. I know this part's going to be like the longest part of the video. I'm trying to blaze through it. But anyway, okay, let's move on to the Masters of the Universe category. Really, really great stuff in the Masters of the Universe side of things this year around. We got new packaging from Masterverse, which looks beautiful and is so much better than the old packaging. We got massive improvements in terms of the sculpt work, the articulation, and just everything about Masterverse just went up a notch this year. It's been my favorite toy line of the past couple of years. Well, besides Transformers, obviously, my favorite action figure toy line of the past couple of years. But it consistently improved with every release this year, and earned its spot right up there as just being the best action figures. I mean, besides, of course, now Jada. But anyway, let's go through these here. So, new Eternia Ram Man. I was so excited to get Ram Man. I have reviews of all of these on my channel, so I'll kind of make these short so that you can just go watch the reviews for my full detailed length on all these things. But Ram Man's fantastic. A really good update to when I was disappointed with the Origins release, and Masterverse Ram Man fills that gap great. Looks great. He poses great. Comes with a lot of awesome alternate accessories. Overall, fantastic. Origins Moss Man. This one was my title of this video was very controversial when it came out. But I love Origins Boss Man. He's great. A little high for the price, but the flocking is fantastic. He's a really solid Origins release overall. And I really, really enjoy him now that I was able to find him. New Eternia Vicron coming up next here. Tremendous Mattel Creations release. I love the character that pays homage to the original design of He-Man before they decided ultimately what the toy line was going to be. And I love that he was packed full of accessories, that they were all usable on older bodies as well. So you didn't have to buy 3 Vicrons if you didn't want to. You could use some spare bodies you had lying around, which is what I did, to emulate all 3 looks of Vicron, which was really, really cool. Next up, the only other Origins figure that made it onto the actual list is Mattel Creations' Lady Slither, mostly because that tail piece is super, super cool and such a unique piece in the Origins line, where we see just a lot of the same when it comes to body molds and body sculpts. Getting something like this tail was really refreshing, and I really hope they make more accessible that tail piece at least, because I would love to get an extra tail to go on my King Hiss, and make him look like full snake. I think that'd be super cool. New Eternia Faker is probably the best Masterverse release this year. He is just all over the board, super, super good. He's got a great head sculpt. He's got great color. His accessories are awesome. He looks fantastic overall. I cannot get enough of this Faker, man. He is so good. New Eternia Man-at-Arms, the best version of Man-at-Arms in the Masterverse line so far. He just nails it in all aspects. He's got great articulation. His armor looks fantastic. You can switch up, how you prefer your Man-at-Arms to look, which is just absolutely great. And they gave his weapon like something to do besides being like a big weird disc club, because it's got a ball and a chain on it now, which is just, I love it. New Eternia Too Bad, one of the very first figures that we got in 2023, and he did not disappoint the entire year. Just the sculpt work on the Masterverse Too Bad is so good. All around the board, he looks fantastic. The fact that he's like two characters, the fact that he's two characters fused into one figure, super, super cool that they were able to pull that off at the price point. Absolutely love it. Next is New Eternia Buzz Off, one of the best New Eternia figures, obviously, of the year. The wings are great. His sculpt work everywhere is fantastic, and he's just a great looking character in the Masterverse line. Absolutely love him. Next is New Eternia Many Faces. Again, another just super awesome New Eternia release. Looks very awesome, true to the character, and I love the addition of the more faces. So it's, besides just the regular 3 faces that Many Faces usually has, they gave you an additional 3, and you can customize and swap them. So you can put whichever 3 faces on Many Faces that you want. Super, super neat. And last in the Motu category is New Eternia Trapjaw. Stellar release. A lot of us, when they came out with Revelation Trapjaw, we weren't sure if he was, we thought he was going to be the best Trapjaw we got in Masterverse. We are proven way wrong with New Eternia Trapjaw. Very, very cool all the way around. Absolutely love the New Eternia Trapjaw, from the swappable jaw feature to all the swappable accessories, plus the new dagger that he gets that you can use either on his arm or in his hand. Super, super great. I love that all the way around. All right, and finally, let's go through the top 10 the Transformers team here. I have reviews of pretty much all of these as well, so go check them out for more detailed thoughts about each of these figures. But going through them, we have Deathsaurus. Of course, the HasLab for the year had to be on here because it's the best HasLab that Transformers has given us. Yes, even better than Unicron. Deathsaurus is perfect in nearly every way, from the accessories to his look, to his sculpt, to his transformation. Everything about Deathsaurus is beautiful and perfect, and I love him. Next is Studio Series Optimus Primal. The best Rise of the Beasts figure is Studio Series Optimus Primal, in my opinion. He looks great in both his gorilla mode, his robot mode, his transformation. Super, super fun without replicating a transformation that we've seen before from Optimus Primal, which is really, really neat. And I cannot put this figure down, ever. He's so good. Next is Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Optimus Prime. He's on this list. I'm so happy that I was able to find him. I only ever saw him at one Target, and I picked him up the moment I saw him, but he did not disappoint. So much better than the Bumblebee movie Prime. He looks great. His transformation is so unique, and the truck mode is awesome as well. So overall, really love Studio Series Prime. Next is Origins Jazz. I love that we keep getting these Cybertronian figures from the first G1 episode. It's so fun. Jazz continues that trend when we had Bumblebee a couple years back, and I love Jazz. He's so cool. His robot mode is, perfect looking Jazz, whereas his vehicle mode is so nice. I love the way it looks. Transformation is really fun, and I cannot wait for Wheeljack in 2024. I'm so excited. All right, next is Studio Series Gamer Prime. I love Gamer Prime. I've been enjoying the Gamer subline as a whole so far, even though some of the figures are a little on the rougher side. I enjoy the line overall, but Prime is easily the best of them. It looks great in robot mode. His transformation's really nice. His vehicle mode looks fantastic as well overall. Really love what they did with that Prime. We've got more Primes to cover because next is Legacy Nova Prime. Finally, we get an official figure of Nova Prime, and he came out tremendous on the Galaxy Upgrade Prime mold, but I think it works really well for Nova Prime. I don't know how much more I'm going to transform him, honestly. The vehicle mode is cool, but he just looks so nice in his robot mode that it's going to be hard to take him out of it. Next is Legacy Armada Prime, the best Commander class figure we've gotten. I don't have Ultra Magnus, so that's why he's not on this list, obviously. But Armada Prime is so good for a kid like me who was raised on the Unicron trilogy, and that is just like a pure Optimus Prime in my head because that's part of what I grew up with. This modern update to him is just tremendous. It's so nice. I absolutely love just everything about him, besides the fact that he doesn't have a waist swivel in his mini robot mode, but it's totally understandable. Next was my first Transformers purchase of, I can't remember, but it was my first Transformers purchase of 2023, and that's Legacy Transmetal Megatron. This was the Legacy Evolution one because they repacked him in the first wave, because I never saw the original one, when it came out. So Transmetal Megatron is so good. Robot mode is awesome. Transformation is so cool. The Dragon mode is just immaculately awesome. And it's great to have a bigger leader class in Legacy, because we see it in Studio Series with the Dinobots, who I wish I had Snarl to put him on this list, but I don't, because he's been nearly impossible to find for me. But it's cool to have a bigger leader class like that, and Transmetal Megatron is huge, like wingspan, tall head, everything about him is awesome. Next is Legacy Animated Prowl. I have talked about my love for animated all over the place, and I think that the Legacy animated figures so far have been very worthy updates to their original counterparts. Prowl is fantastic. I really enjoy Prowl. He's so fun to pose, he's so fun to transform, and I love both modes, honestly. Animated Prowl is awesome. And to round out the Transformers team, it's going to be two characters in one spot, but they share the same mold. I couldn't really pick one over the other, and it's Legacy Tarn and Legacy Bludgeon. First of all, it's great that we finally have a Tarn in toy form, officially from Hasbro, something that we never thought was going to happen, and it turned out his figure is fantastic. In robot mode, he is so good. He is so poseable. He is so fun. Transformation is... It's a fine transformation. Nothing crazy. And the tank mode is all right. I mean, it's a standard tank mode. But then Bludgeon came in and didn't change much. But what it did change works really well in its favor with the Bludgeon head and the Samurai sword. Spectacular. It's just like, honestly, a fantastic mold that... I feel like anytime they use it, I'm going to pick it up because it's so good. All right, so finally, we have made it to the actual bracket portion of the tournament. So we got to actually get down to the nitty gritty. Who's going to beat who? What are our fights going to look like? Well, we're going to go ahead and find out. But you know what? Before we do that, why don't you go ahead and check your snack pile, check your drink, make sure you don't need to go get a refill. But if you do need to go get a refill, take this opportunity right now to go ahead, grab a refill of whatever you're sipping, whatever you're snacking on, and get ready to get strapped in for the actual tournament itself when we return. All right, and welcome back. Now that we've addressed our competitors and why they are on this list, let's see who the best figure of 2023 is. Okay, so we're going to go one half of the bracket at a time. We'll take the first half, we'll do all of it, get up to the finalist, and then we will take the second half, and we will go all the way up to the finalist before we take the finalists of each half, put them together to see who wins. So, I'm just going to show it up here on the screen first. Boom! Here is our first half of the bracket, so you can see kind of the whole lineup for this half of the bracket. You can choose how you would think this bracket would go based on what you know, and yes, you will note that we do have one bye round, so Deathsaurus automatically got a pass over to the second round. So all right, without further ado, let's break this down. So, match number one is New Eternia Ram Man versus Origins Mossman. This one's an easy choice, in my opinion, and it goes to New Eternia Ram Man because, again, I prefer Masterverse overall to Origins. Ram Man just knocked it out of the park for me, even though Mossman is great. So, Ram Man's going to move on to face Deathsaurus in the next round. I think we all know how that's going to go. But anyway, let's move on to the next match. Is New Eternia Vicron versus Black Series Duels End Darth Vader. Yeah, I just have to give this to the Masterverse team because, of course, as much as I love Darth Vader and as much as I love the Black Series, Masterverse figures are better figures in my opinion, for their value, for their price. I paid almost the same amount for Vader that I paid for Vicron, and I got a lot more out of Vicron. So, sorry, Lord Vader. Vicron, moving on. All right, next, Studio Series Rise of the Beast Prime versus Origins Lady Slither. This is, again, another easy knockout. It goes to ROTB, Optimus Prime. Okay, next, Origins Jazz, Transformers Origins Jazz, versus Jakks Pacific Samus Aran. This is kind of a tough one because that Samus is so good for her size, but we got a Cybertronian Jazz for the first time, which is really, really cool. So I'm going to have to give this one to Jazz, unfortunately. So Samus, you were a great competitor there. Fantastic that you even made it onto the list for a little $10 World of Nintendo toy, but congratulations to Jazz for moving on. This one, though, this is the first, really, really hard one. When I saw this, I knew I was going to struggle with this one for sure. It's New Eternia Faker versus Storm Collectibles Liu Kang. Now, you guys know that I love Storm Collectibles. You can see all my Mortal Kombat ones here, of course. I love Mortal Kombat. We just got Mortal Kombat 1 this year. There's a lot of good Mortal Kombat stuff happening. But mostly what I liked about Liu Kang was the dragon. The dragon is so cool. It is just, it's so, look at him. Look at that dragon. It's beautiful. I love him. The Liu Kang figure himself is fun. He feels a little small. Mine was a little stiff, at least at first. He's loosened up now for sure, but I have to give this one to Faker because he's easily the best Masterverse release of the year. There's something about him I just love. He's beautiful. I love him. Anyway, okay. Next, we got Adventure Series Indiana Jones versus the Jada Toys Invisible Man. And as much as I love Indy, the Invisible Man takes this one because his accessories are so cool, and I just love what they did with the robe. If you got that on a Marvel Legends figure, it's going to be hard plastic. He's not going to pose very well because it's going to be one piece that you have to try to move him around. But they decided to split the robe up, make it rubbery plastic so he can actually articulate. So Invisible Man takes the cake there. All right, a straight up Masterverse matchup here. So we got Masterverse New Eternia Man-at-Arms versus Masterverse New Eternia Too Bad. And as much as I love that Man-at-Arms, I'm giving it to Too Bad because he's a greatly awesome sculpted figure, and I highly doubt we'll ever get another Too Bad in the Masterverse line. And we've already had 3 Man-at-Arms at this point. So as great as he is, when you put him up against a character that we surprisingly already got and probably won't get again, I'm giving it to Too Bad. All right, that completes round 1 of the first half of this bracket. We kind of know our competitors now, see how this flow is going to go. So let's break it down in round 2 here. First up is Deathsaurus versus Masterverse Ram Man. This one here is no contest, obviously. Deathsaurus is going to take it because he is just an awesome Transformers figure all the way around. The best HasLab to ever exist. I mean, I only have the Transformers ones, but he's beautiful. He's amazing. He's fantastic. I love him. And as great as Ram Man is, he's nothing compared to Deathsaurus. Okay, so this one's tough here. Vicron versus Rise of the Beasts Optimus Prime. Both are exclusive figures, which I feel like kind of helps their case. Vicron, one of my favorite Masterverse releases of the year, but there's so many Primes on this list, especially Optimus Primes. But this Rise of the Beast Prime was something special. So good. So, unfortunately for Vicron, I think I'm going to advance Rise of the Beast Prime. It's just so good. It's so good all around. Anyway, okay, moving on. Team Masters of the Universe is about to get their redemption here with Origins Jazz versus New Eternia Faker. And again, I love New Eternia Faker. And as great as Jazz is, he's not dead. He's still alive, I think. And check his pulse. Yeah, he's good. I'm going to give this one to Faker because such a solid, I keep looking back here because I'm looking at him. He's on my shelf right there. It's such a solid release overall. Brings us to our last match of round 2, which is the Jada Toys Invisible Man versus the New Eternia Too Bad. And as much as I like the Invisible Man, putting these two side by side, I have to give it to Too Bad. Too Bad is just super awesome with his look and that they were able to pull off that character at the scale. So yeah, too bad. Go ahead and make his way on up. All right, this takes us to round 3 here. We're going to breeze through this. We got match 1 of round 3 is Deathsaurus versus ROTB Prime. Deathsaurus is taking this one for sure. So much more fun, so much better than Rise of the Beast Prime, which I do love Rise of the Beast Prime, but Deathsaurus takes the cake. All right, and when you put up the next match, which is Faker versus Too Bad, yeah, Faker blows this one out of the water. So there you go, Faker. Boom, good job. But unfortunately, now we're in round 4 here of the first half, and it's Deathsaurus versus Faker, so we know who's moving on there. It's Deathsaurus. Just overall, you're not beating Deathsaurus there. We'll see whoever gets to be the finalists of the second half, if they can beat Deathsaurus. We'll see. Stay tuned. But yeah, so Faker is at least getting 3rd or 4th place, depending on how we look at it here. Great round 1, everybody. Give it up for round 1. Deathsaurus being our winner of the first half of the bracket. We love to see that. And why don't we go ahead, without further ado, just move straight on to the second half of the bracket. Here it is, boom, so you can see it in its entirety. You can place your predictions, place your bets to see how this is going to go. We do have a bye in this round as well, and it's Studio Series Optimus Primal, so he's going to hang out in the second round until we get there. So, first up in round 1 is New Eternia Buzz-Off versus New Eternia Many Faces. These are both really great figures overall. Really solid Masterverse releases, but I'm going to give this one to Buzz-Off because he was a little more unique, had a little bit more going on for him in terms of the figure, and overall, just really solid. All right, next is Studio Series Gamer Prime versus Legacy Nova Prime. This one's kind of tough, but I'm going to give this one to Gamer Prime because Gamer Prime started the line off really strong, and yes, this is the first time that Nova Prime has had an official figure in this capacity where he looks, very reminiscent of his design. He's on a mold that's, I feel like the mold has overstayed its welcome a little bit. I think we're all kind of ready to move on from the Siege Magnus / the Galaxy Upgrade Prime. Of course, this was the first time that Galaxy Upgrade Prime's mold specifically was reused, which I think is a better mold than the Siege and the Kingdom Ultra Magnus. I think we're all tired of the mold at this point. Gamer Prime gave us something new, gave us something fresh, so he's going to move it on. Okay, next is New Eternia Trapjaw versus Storm Collectibles Kano. And this one's really tough as well, because I love Storm so much. And these are both solid figures, but I feel like they both had, or when I say Storm, both, I mean both Liu Kang and Kano. I feel like they both are lacking something that makes them as awesome as some of the other figures. Because if you go back and watch my previous year's list, Storm has had some pretty strong competitors all the way through the list that make it into the top. But this year I don't think it's happening, because I think Trapjaw is going to move on this round. So both of the Storm figures, unfortunately, get left out in the first round. That's definitely going to change, though, I believe, in 2024 with the release of the MK9s. The MK9 Shao Kahn and the Shiva and the Nightwolf. I think Storm is going to have a comeback in 2024 in the tournament there. But Trapjaw, congratulations to Trapjaw for moving on. Okay, McFarlane Black Manta versus Marvel Legends Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. It's the only match on this list that is DC, that is a McFarlane and a Marvel Legends. Coincidentally, it has to be Marvel versus DC. I'm giving this one to Spider-Man, though, because I think that this is probably the best Spidey that Marvel Legends has released. And Spidey's like the only thing that I'm continuing to get with Marvel Legends at this point. Similar to how McFarlane, the only thing I'm getting really now is going to be Aquaman stuff. But I couldn't put Spider-Man down. I still can't. I pick him up every once in a while. He's just so fun to pose, so fun to mess with. He looks so good. Spidey's taking this one. All right, the next matchup is a Jada battle. It's Jada Wolfman versus Jada Evil Ryu. No contest here. Evil Ryu is going to take that one for sure. He's just so good. He looks great everywhere. He poses really well. Came with a lot of great stuff. I love Evil Ryu. So good. This one hurts me. It's Legacy Armada Prime versus Legacy Transmetal Megatron. Both fantastic releases this year. Transmetal Megatron, beautiful dragon mode, great robot mode. But I think we all know Armada Prime is taking this one. So good all the way around. The best Commander class figure we've gotten thus far. He looks great. He really just captures my nostalgia bubbles so well. I love everything about Armada Prime. All right, and last for round one is Legacy Animated Prowl and Legacy Tarn / Bludgeon. This one's no contest. As much as I love Prowl and as much as I love Animated, Tarn and Bludgeon are just taking it because they are the better figure. The mold is so solid, so good. Love it all the way around. All right, that completes round one of the second half of the bracket. So let's go ahead, move on to round two, why don't we? And get this all out of the way here. So first up is Studio Series Primal versus New Eternia Buzz-Off. Primal is taking this one. He is so good all around again. And as much as I like Buzz-Off, he is nothing in comparison to Studio Series Optimus Primal. Brings us to our next match, which is Studio Series Gamer Prime and New Eternia Trapjaw. And this one's tough because I freaking loved Gamer Prime. I love Gamer Prime so much. But Trapjaw has so much going on to offer in terms of his variety and his look, and he's just like one of the best Masterverse releases for the whole year and the whole line. I think he's going to take it. Yeah, we're going to give it to Trapjaw. Trapjaw just keeps throwing upset after upset here. Wow, between Storm, Kano, and Gamer Prime, this is absolutely amazing with what Trapjaw's pulling out here. All right, next match of round two is Marvel Legends Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man versus Jada Toys Evil Ryu. And this one's tough as well because, like I said, I really love that Spider-Man. But Jada is such a great up-and-comer this year that I'm going to give this one to Evil Ryu because, you know, Spider-Man is a Marvel Legends, right? Like he has everything that you would expect in a Marvel Legends. He was $27.99, so it's, you know, a little bit high, but he came with alternate hands. He came with, but then I think of all these things that I'm thinking about with this figure, and Evil Ryu has it all. And he was an exclusive, so granted he was $40 or $45, but the standard Ryu is exactly the same figure, just with a different color scheme and slightly less accessories. And he's 25. Like he's less. The Jada Toys is less price for more quality, in my opinion, and they're just absolutely amazing with what they've done this year. So giving that one to Evil Ryu, which takes us into our last match of round two of the second half of the bracket. It's Legacy Armada Prime versus Legacy Tarn and Bludgeon, and Armada Prime is taking this one for sure because, for all the reasons I've mentioned. Okay, we're coming into round three of the second half of the bracket here. First matchup is Studio Series Optimus Primal versus New Eternia Trapjaw, and Primal is taking this one. So yes, Studio Series Primal here takes the cake for that one. Finally putting an end to Trapjaw's reign here. Sorry, Trapjaw, but you had a good run in this bracket, that's for sure. Our next match here is Evil Ryu versus Armada Prime, and it's Armada Prime. Like, we all knew what was coming there for sure, but Evil Ryu did have a good showing. He's a great figure all around. I definitely recommend you start getting into the Jada stuff once they have something that interests you, because their figures are just so good. So, the semifinals for round two is Studio Series Optimus Primal versus Legacy Armada Prime, and this one is so tough because I love both of these, but I'm going with Armada Prime. So Armada Prime is going to advance to the finalist position, which means, of course, that takes us to our final match. It is none other than Legacy HasLab Deathsaurus versus Legacy Commander Class Armada Prime. All right, here we go. Drum roll, please. The votes from the judges are in. Folks, the winner, the best of 2023 tournament is HasLab Deathsaurus. He's done it, folks. He's made it all the way to the end. I mean, there was a lot of people predicting this, of course, because who wouldn't? It's Deathsaurus. It's the best Transformers HasLab figure that we've ever gotten. He looks beautiful. He's a great update to the Deathsaurus character. We're also glad that he is finally here and that he is finally in toy form. He just did everything right. He looks great. He transforms great. He's great in his chicken mode. The throne is amazing. The flight stand is great. All of his accessories are fantastic. So yes, Deathsaurus is the winner of the Best of 2023 tournament. And guys, that is all that I have for the Best of 2023. You know, I always love doing these tournaments. It is always a little hard sometimes when a great figure gets knocked out in the first round or the second round. You know, I really just do this to talk about the figures that I loved from this year. So why don't you guys go ahead and let me know how you would have done this tournament differently with all these competitors. Would Deathsaurus have been your number one? Would someone else have been your number one? But let's just go ahead and talk about all things action figures 2023 in the comments down below. And guys, I can't believe we made it to the end of another year. This year was fantastic for growth for the channel. We hit 1,000 subscribers. I got recognized when I was at San Diego Comic-Con by somebody, which was insane. I hosted my first giveaway. There was a lot of good stuff happening this year on the channel, and I cannot thank each and every one of you enough. So thank you for that. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you continue to enjoy all the future videos that I've got planned and that I've got coming up. And thank you for supporting me as always. So guys, as always, I've been your host, Deceptibot9. Thank you as always for joining me, and I will catch you guys later.